Hello friends, welcome back to the shop. Today is Sunday, June 25th, and it is an absolutely glorious day here in southeastern Pennsylvania. Bright sunshine. It's 11 o'clock in the morning and we're at 72 degrees. It's going to be hot, but very, very beautiful day. And that's nice because I know I'm sounding like a bit of a broken record, but boy, have we had rain and flash floods and all kinds of stuff. There were apparently some tropical storms that moved through, very smoky today, moved through the area and just dumped a lot of rain on us. But today is just beautiful. I'm getting a bit of a late start video-wise because I had a bunch of yard work to catch up on. Yesterday was far too soggy to do anything. And I needed to do that before it got too hot because it does get, this time of year, gets really pretty unbearable once you get past about 10 or 11 o'clock in the morning. So I got up early and did all that, weeding and some trimming of some. We had a couple of hedges that just had dead sections in them. They just didn't get through the winter, I guess. So had to chop those out and yeah, just general fun stuff, lots of weeding. But yeah, all's going well. It's like I said, it's a beautiful day today, and we've got a couple of chores to do, but not too much. My wife and I are going to try to take it easy today because we had a pretty busy day yesterday. And I'll tell you more about that as I go along. So today I am smoking the Jumbo Benchmade, probably Marksman Jumbo pipe. You can see the custom build influence on that. Really like this pipe. It's rather old. I mean, this pipe is probably about 80 years old. Smokes wonderfully. And I am smoking Big and Burley, which I've had before. And I've been smoking a bit recently. It's a very good tobacco. I like it a lot. Although I have to say, for me, it's more of a change of pace blend. Like I could smoke other Cornillon deal blends like Haunted Bookshop or Old Joe Krantz. I could smoke those daily with no problem. Big and Burley is something that if I smoke it more than once or twice a week, it starts to get a little bit too overbearing for me, and I believe it has a lot of key, and I think that's, yeah, it's definitely a lot of key. Is just add some weight to it, and especially this time of year when it's getting hot, it's just not something that I want to have more than, like I said, once or twice a week. But it is a really nice change of pace. It kind of wakes up the palate. So I told you all last time that I had to do a business trip to Boston, and while I dislike business travel, and it was the flights were just a mess. So leaving Philadelphia, there was like maybe a 2.5 hour delay, and then coming back from Boston, we boarded the plane. Plane's ready to leave. They closed the doors and everything. Well, they hadn't closed the doors yet. They announced that there was going to be a delay because they didn't have a pilot. So there was probably about a half an hour where we were just sitting there with the doors open, and it was starting to get very warm because they didn't have anything running, so the air conditioning wasn't on. And then they found pilots, and they closed the doors and all that. And at that point, Philadelphia Air Traffic Control had put a hold on. Nobody could land in Philadelphia because there were apparently some very bad storms coming through here on, this would have been Wednesday evening. So we sat there for, I believe, an hour and a half before the plane took off. Thankfully, they were able to get the air conditioning running. But, it's only an hour flight, so when you have to sit on the plane for 2 hours before you even take off, I'm not a fan of travel, and those kind of things are part of the reason why I'm not a fan of travel. But it all worked out fine. Got home safely. And the good thing is I had some time on Tuesday to visit LJ Peretti and picked up this nice 8-ounce tin of Cuban mixture. Really like Cuban mixture. And also a blend that surprises me. I've had this before. It's called Scottish Flake. And hopefully I'll pick some out for you. You can see it's a very dark Virginia flake. And this is aged mature Virginias, pressed and saturated with a red wine. And it's definitely got that sort of McClellan-y vinegar smell to it, which the first sample that I got. So I like, as I've told you, I'm not a big Virginia fan, but I do like mature red Virginias when they've got that sort of deep caramely flavor. And I thought, well, this looked great on the website, and I ordered up an ounce of it just as a sample. And when I opened the bag, I thought, oh no, this is a McClellan vinegar mess. In fact, I joked that McClellan accidentally ordered red wine vinegar. You McClellan fans can shout at me. I'm sorry. But anyway, I did smoke it, and it was wonderful. It's a really good Virginia. If you like those sort of deeper, mature Virginia type flavors, I recommend the Scottish Flake from Peretti. It's really good. And the Cuban mixture I've talked about before. It's a fantastic tobacco. And it was nice visiting the shop. It's a small shop. Surprisingly small, actually, considering how old it is and the history and all. I wasn't expecting it to be quite that small, but quite nice. Lots of pipes, lots of very high-end pipes, which was kind of neat to see. And of course, pipe tobacco, a lot of cigars as well. In fact, the internet, when you Google LJ Peretti, it actually comes up as a cigar shop, which was a little worrying when I saw that. But I've heard people say that the staff sometimes can be a bit, let's say, brusque, and I found them to be wonderful. I mean, I talked to a couple of people working there. The guy that got the tobacco for me was very friendly. We had a nice chat about the smoking laws in the area and in Pennsylvania and how they compared and that sort of thing. And yeah, it was all in all a good experience. So if you're ever in the area, I highly recommend a visit to LJ Peretti. So prior to leaving, I'll give you a little life update. Boy, the smoke is just hanging around today. I can see that it's coming back down. That's interesting. It's funny how it behaves differently on different days. So before leaving, I told you my wife had to go to Pittsburgh for a funeral, and she noticed the day before she had to leave that her car inspection, her state inspection, had run out. So we had to quickly get the car over to the dealer. We go to the dealer for inspections because of warranties and things like that, and got the car inspected, picked it up on Friday night, and as she was driving home from the dealer, the car overheated, was spraying coolant all over the engine. It was a mess. So we had to get it back to the dealer. Actually had it towed back to the dealer because I didn't know what was going on with the engine. I didn't want to overheat the engine too much, and we had about 10 miles to go to get back. So we had it towed, and we've got free towing with AAA, so that was no problem. And the dealer gave us a pretty good deal on a rental car. I think we got a couple days free, and then we got $15 a day for the other days. So she did all right with that. Was able to get to Pittsburgh. And it turned out that, when they flushed the radiator, and when they reconnected the hose, apparently the hose cracked and they didn't notice it. And so that was a lot of, that's just the sort of thing you want to deal with the day before you need to go on a business trip, or the days before you need to go a business trip. So we had that mess going on. Then I had to get the dogs to the kennel, and I took off. She got back early on Wednesday. I got back late Wednesday night, and then we picked the dogs back up on Thursday. But what I'm leaving out is while she was gone and before I left, our television just died on me. And I don't watch a lot of television, but my wife does. And I went to turn it on to watch a Phillies game, and it was black screen. I could hear it, but there was no video. And I looked it up, and there's apparently parts that are known to go out on these flat panel LED TVs. And I thought about taking it apart and trying to fix it, but it's about close to 10 years old now, so it's probably about 8 or 9 years old. And I figured it's time for an upgrade. Oh, the furnace. That hasn't happened in a while. I'll be back. Well, sorry about that, folks. As I've explained before, my furnace is also my water heater, so if my wife's taking a shower or something, it'll kick on. Where was I? So upgrading the TV. Yeah, we decided to do that, and we wound up buying a Sony. It was one of their 2016 models, but it's the high-end Triluminox or something like that. It's a beautiful picture. Spent way more than I thought I would spend on a TV, but it's worth it. It's really a nice picture. And like I said, I don't watch it very often, but when I do, I appreciate having the good picture, especially for things like football and baseball. And I do occasionally watch YouTube videos on that as well. So some of you may be in full glory up on the the new TV. So got that home yesterday. Had to unbox it, install it. I mean, just unboxing the thing took an hour. It's nothing is as fast as you think it's going to be. But that's all done. So that was good. But it was a very busy day with all of that going on, and we had to. It probably didn't get settled down until like 9 o'clock last night. So today we're going to try to take it easy a bit. In terms of shop updates, so time has really gotten away from me, and it's unfortunate because it's gonna sort of delay some things a bit, and I apologize to that, both to you all who are watching, but also to the folks that are waiting to get their pipes back. So the Peterson, I think, restoration that's going on right now, that I had some trouble getting the stainless steel tubing that I want to use inside, so that took a little more time than I had hoped. And I haven't got a lot of work done on that since the last video, so I'm probably not going to be able to give you a video this Wednesday. I mean, I don't want to do a short one just for the sake of having something. I'd rather, make it a substantial effort and, delay it a bit. Now, unfortunately, the following week, I'm going to be away. I'm going up to Vermont to visit my dad and brother and sister up there. And I'll be gone the whole week. So that means there's probably going to be 2 weeks where you don't see a shop video. And possibly a week, I think. No, possibly 2 weeks where you don't see one of these weekend chats. Although when I'm up in Vermont, I'll probably try to do a quick hello from someplace pretty, because it's a beautiful area up there. And yeah, we'll see how that goes. So I'll try to be in touch, but there's not going to be any of the formal Sunday, Wednesday videos coming out for the next 2 weeks. And unfortunately, I hope John understands that that's going to delay things a bit with his pipe. But as soon as I get back from that trip, I've got everything that I need to move on that and get it finished. So I'm really glad that we'll be able to knock that out. I mean, there's still a lot of work to be done, so it's going to take some time still. But all the parts that I was worried about getting, I now have, and everything's gonna go nicely. Also, I've got one other pipe that I'm working on, and that's also going to be put on hold. So if the person who sent that pipe, and you know who you are, is watching, I apologize for that, but I will get it done as soon as I can after the week of the 4th. So yeah, that's everything. And this trip, I don't like traveling, but this trip is going to be a fun one. You know, I like seeing my family, obviously, and it's always nice to go up to Vermont. I was hoping to make it up to Montreal for the Jazz Festival, but it's just been too hectic. I haven't been able to plan that, and I just can't take the extra time off to do it right now. So that'll have to wait until next year. But fortunately, the festival's been going on for a long time, and I'm sure we'll be back again next year. I was hoping to be able to meet up with Bona Piper up in Montreal. We've traded a lot of messages and emails and really become friends, and I was looking forward to seeing him in the flesh and saying hello and having a pipe. But unfortunately, that's just not in the cards for this year. So next year, Christian, we'll get together. So I think I've pretty much updated you on everything. Told you all my tales of woe. So I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and finish this up, and then relax a bit for today. We got like I said, a couple of errands we have to run, but other than that, we're going to just take it easy. So I hope you're all having a good weekend. Hope you're all enjoying yourself and spending time with friends and family. And I wish you all the best for the next week, and in case we don't get to talk the next couple of weeks, I'll be back as soon as possible. And until the next time, I will look forward to talking to you all again very soon. So goodbye now.